Berlin is famous for its convenient public transport. It's so easy to get around the entire city. And one thing you guys should do is plan some routes to have a good look around Berlin while you're here, so you can enjoy the games and see everything that Berlin has to offer.
Oh, yeah.
The Berlin subway stations has a pretty unique design to it. It's very efficient. You have zones A, B, and C. A being the city centre, B being the outskirts, and then C going off towards the suburbs. We can see a lot of Berlin by doing this. The Berlin subway lines subway system consists of 25 lines, and it can take you anywhere in the entire city. There's 3 lines here, and 2 of them are pretty interesting. The first one is the U-Bahn, which is our underground one, and that has 15 lines. Then we have the S-Bahn, which is one that just rolls across the surface, and that has 10 lines. So if you go to the Ringbahn as well, you have an S-Bahn that goes all the way around the ring if you want to choose that route to go as well. So here is everything we have to get your tickets and get yourself on the road. Now you should make sure you buy a ticket. They're a lot cheaper than the ones I have to buy in the UK, so there's no excuse not to buy your tickets. Now some of the ticket names, and I'm going to do my best here, but this is going to be hard. These are very German names. This is a ticket for short distances, and this is the Kurvenstreckenstein. Einstrahlstein. A small life hack for you guys coming here to Berlin. You can download the BVGH Far Info Berlin, and what that is an app that you can use to plan your route, know exactly where you got to go, buy your tickets and have it all on your mobile phone. That's something I love to do, and it's certainly something I recommend if you're coming here to Berlin. Now we need to get on this train, so let's make sure we hop in. Another one of the things I absolutely love about Berlin is how easy it is to get around, and this right here is my favorite type of transport. You get your phone, you scan the QR code, you get going, and you can start riding around on the scooter and get wherever you want. And this is what I spend most of my time doing. You can get to the Mercedes Arena and the Music Hall by multiple forms of different public transport. Buses, trains, trams, scooters, you know I love them. Sometimes you can get to anywhere you want here in Berlin with just using multiple forms of public transport. But very interestingly enough, and it's not one I'm going to be taking, you can also take some ferries. There are ferries that stop very close to the arena and the Music Hall, so you can hop off them, enjoy a leisurely boat ride before you get to the arena. And if you do take one, let me know, because me personally, I won't be taking them. I'll see you guys there.
Some great content there from Banks about Berlin. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, I took the S-Bahn yesterday, actually, to Alexandersplatz.
How was it?
It was pretty good, yeah. Efficient. Didn't have to walk. Was a big fan of that. But yeah, and they run constantly. It's like every 4 minutes.
It's like the tram service, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It's super easy to get around here in Berlin, as highlighted by James as well. But we're going to jump off at this station because we need to finish off what we started, which is FURIA versus Sharks. And as you can see, the users on the Strafe app don't really leave too much of a chance here for Sharks, even though we're going into their own map pick.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, the content is apt because we're about to jump on train, additionally, which is where Sharks are going to feel like they could potentially pull us back to a cheeky Vertigo, which I know you're dying to see.
I mean, it is. I mean, you do have the added benefit of Sharks seemingly coming into this minor with Vertigo being a bit of a pocket pick, and then we know obviously that FURIA was one of the early adapters to the map in general, so it does create some interesting storylines going into it potentially, but it's all down to whether or not Sharks are going to be able to win out and train here, and I can't say that I'm too convinced that that's going to be the case. Simply because we didn't see the greatest of starts on Nuke. They didn't showcase the same kind of level as they did versus INTC, especially on their CT side. So as we do get into it, we'll see if they can start off better here.
That's a good smoke, though. They're going to instantly stall 3 players that were looking to go through Ivy, and it's Art on the other side of that smoke. Last 2 players in main can be Exit, joined by JNT. They do still have a flashbang.
It's going to be, well, look at how many players, though. 4 players around Ivy already from FURIA. It's like they know exactly what Sharks wants to do. The same thing happened in the pistol on Nuke as well.
The firing squad, it has been established, and so far it's effective, it's efficient, and it's taking this round away from Sharks. Exit, though, and JNT, the 2 players in main, are now making a move, but they're going to have to retrieve the bomb.
Still have a fighting chance here with Yuri being on such low HP, but they need to be worried about Vinny. Well, if they weren't, now they are.
I need to know what you're saying, Ben.
I'm not sure if it means anything at all, or if it's just like, I don't know, just random chance. What would be the CC caption of that? Would it be like, or closed caption, it would be like inaudible noise?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Or Sharks internally screaming.
It was good fun though. Yesterday we got some feedback on what was being shouted back and forth. Obviously KNG MVP of the trash talk yesterday.
Yeah, hang my picture on your wall. That is 10 out of 10 trash talk.
100%. So if anyone at home who speaks Portuguese are able to pick up on what's being said back and forth, and if there is some gold in there, please do let us know. Right now though, it's going to be Sharks going up against a much stronger buy than what they have to offer. Abel J is doing his damnedest to stay alive as well. Finds 3 before he gets taken out by Leo. He's dropped the bomb though, so any hopes of Sharks being able to get some cash boosted into the next round is not going to be very likely. Art finishes it off. Still going to be enough money on the side of Sharks to actually get a buy-in, but just a little bit more starved on nades.
Kind of Leo to reload the FAMAS for FURIA before departing with it, but now Sharks going to have themselves a very healthy buy.
Yeah, and a bit of a different approach from what we saw Nuke. Again, it comes down to basically the layout of the map. Obviously, more long-distance fights to take here on a map like Train than Nuke, so they're not going to go in with pretty much a FAMAS as their best rifle and shotguns and SMGs for this round. Off in the hands of Art already.
Yuri with the right idea. Smoke and flash banging out. RCF thought about pushing. He wanted to until he got fully blinded. They're going to start to back away. So Yuri taking control of Ivy, but piercing through the smoke is Leo, and it catches Yuri in the face.
I was actually a little bit surprised that Yuri wanted to fire off MP9 shots into there. It's going to be at a significant distance. You're not standing too much of a chance of doing significant damage to Sharks. So not really sure what he wanted to do with that outside of just giving up his position.
Yeah, I do wonder if perhaps he was preempting and anticipating they were about to push through the smoke, and he was just going to try and do as much damage as possible before he inevitably fell. But as you say, I mean, it pretty much gave his position away, gave them the free frag. K-Serato's also down to 26.
This is what you want, though, if you're Sharks. Got off to such a rough start on Nuke. They did end up winning this round, the third one, on Nuke as well, but then it all turned around. And they never really got their foothold in the first half at all, and that's a great peek from Exit. He knew what to expect from Art.
That's how it feels, Art, to be randomly peeked around a corner. Shut out your shoes. Picking up the SG as K-Serato. I do wonder if they're going to save because of the low HP, and I think that's going to be likely. Just bow out of this round and give it up for Sharks. Come back with a very good buy in the next round too.
Should actually be able to get pretty decent buy-in. All things considered, K-Serato sitting at 3.3, so he's going to be able to drop off to Art. You should be able to get something for his own unless VD feels generous and drops him a FAMAS or something to that effect. But you would imagine that FURIA wants to get at least some utility to their name. But alas, a bit of a mirror from what we saw Nuke starting us off on as well. 2-1 being the scoreline. Here really is where the game kind of started to spiral out of control, though, for Sharks. They weren't able to follow up on this win with another one, and that set FURIA off on a blazing pace. Never really being able to get it back into a stable position until it was a little bit too late.
The good news for Sharks at the very least, though, is unless they were to lose this round and obviously gift the AWP across, FURIA aren't going to have an AWP for quite some time because of how their economy is shaping up. Here come the nades. We saw this happen quite a few times against INTZ, double nading on the train. Next hit, Molotoving.
Look at this
Serrato's position. Oh, that is so dirty.
And it's not just a double pick, it's 3 players on the inner bomb side as well from FURIA.
It seems like FURIA are just in the heads of Sharks. They're making so many big reads that end up being successful.
Really do, and you'd think that it might be blind luck, but again, especially when it happens with pistols, very decent chance that FURIA have done their homework. Although still a fair amount of defense here out in the yard, but well, quickly removed as well. RCF having a bit of a tear with that SG. He's going to chime in as well, so 2v3 situation. So you say that, but gonna have to eat my words. This case Serrato makes it a 2v2. JNT's on low HP as well. Leo continuing his good work here. He's gonna be able to pick up the bomb as well. Bomb plant is gonna go down in a position actually where JNT can be a factor too. That's really important. Case Serrato has a lot of work to be done right now, and he doesn't have a defuse kit.
He doesn't, and he doesn't have any nades either, so he's going to have to be peeking out dry. And this is such a difficult site to retake. There's so many angles.
Oh, yeah.
So many little corners that you have to check out for, plus the longer ranges of likes of Ivy and Pop Dog.
Yeah, bomb being open from about every angle on Earth.
That's why he's saving. I mean, I think Case Serrato, under normal circumstances, if you put him in a 1v2, he is so good and so confident he goes for it. But with it being trained, nah.
Yeah.
Save the SG. Just keep it.
Smarter choice as well. We definitely think that the map comes into play for this one, as you said. Yeah, we've seen Case Serrato being, if not completing clutches, but very near to completing fairly impossible clutch scenarios. Train just proving to be a little bit of a tougher task here, but that's great news for Sharks. 2 rounds in a row, and they're going to get a bit of an established economy on their T side, even though they only survived with 2.
Oh, I didn't see it from his perspective first time around. That
the second one is also pretty damn good. RCF, yeah, you talked about this yesterday when we saw them play. RCF had a really, really rough time in the first half on Nuke. He started way better off today. Hopefully that feeds into the T side here on Train. They're going to need it.
Oh, it felt like to me he was the best player on Nuke this time around for Sharks, and he started well here on Train additionally, so it's good to see.
Absolutely, and again, it's the 3-man setup here.
I think
Exit feels like he probably felt like something was up there. Saw the corner peek and was like, nope, not going in on that. They're making the correct call. This is a 4-spy here on the side of FURIA as well.
Underarm Molotov into Pop Dog. That's going to do quite a bit of damage. They have to back away from this. Leo's also gone down to the hands of Art. The buy, so far, so good for FURIA as the bomb needs to be retrieved. Picked up now from RCF. He goes back in. Maybe confidence, maybe the over hubris is going to cost him and his team dearly there. Pushing in that aggressively with the bomb when the rest of his team is stuck. Not a great idea.
That's the biggest part as well. The 2 players in Pop Dog haven't been able to move at all. After that Molotov went down, all they've done is take a lot of damage, and well, that's going to continue. Vinny, 1.5 frags to his name and exit down to 10 HP, 1v3. Damn. Efficient utility usage, winning out the round there for FURIA. I can't remember, was it Case Serrato who played close up by E-Box that round? Whoever it was on the side of FURIA who dropped that underhand Molotov, as you mentioned, more or less just secures everything for him.
It was huge, yeah. It kept 2 players stuck in Pop Dog. So I was so surprised that RCF took the fight and pushed back Olof and Green Train. Like,
yeah, you thought it would be a retrieval mission, right? And then just fall back, kind of group up, allow everyone to play out their, let the smokes dissipate so if he could get some backup from his buddies in Pop Dog and so on. But tries to pounds on it. He didn't know that Art was around Green Train because he spotted him out multiple times, but I mean, a little bit too confident in actually being able to win out the duel.
To be fair to RCF, it may have been a call. Like, you just go.
Yeah, you have to set. Yeah, you have to create space for everyone else. Right. That could be the case, but they still had time to play for. So. Yep.
Whichever way you spin it, FURIA did a solid job of holding, and now they're going to have their first AWP in round 6.
Up on Sharks as well, but the rest of the weaponry is not as impressive. This was meant to be where Sharks just kind of get their footing in the matchup. Potentially go on a bit of a run. Instead, it's FURIA bouncing right back.
Able J solo holding with a UMP of all weapons, which a little bit scary, but he is going to now have Art moving in to help him out. Grenade tossed up, may land in the eyes of RCF, chunks him down a quarter of his HP. They are poised and positioning for a B hit at this point, Sharks. They have one smoke left to play with. With 2 MAC-10s, it would make sense that you're going to charge them in first and see how much carnage and mayhem they can cause. But consistent smokes being planted on ramp is giving them a little bit of a doubt as to whether this is the correct play or not. Time is starting to dwindle too. They still have that smoke.
With all the SMGs really on the side of Sharks, you kind of have to imagine that they're going to fend for that inner bomb site, see if they can get forward. So it's going to be able to get aggressive. He's going to find Knack. Putting kill goes the way of Furia. They're still going to commit here. It's not going to pan out too well, is it?
That's really not a good smoke. I don't know if you caught it, Ven, but they smoked off. They could still be spotted from Connector from the top of the trains. Like, it basically did nothing.
It's the kind of smoke that goes on into the tiny gap between the sidewalk and the bomb train.
Yeah.
Doesn't really amount to anything at all. I mean, it closes off anyone playing behind the third train, but as you can see
here
it's really there.
Just easy pickings for Quesarado. Like, nothing was even remotely blocked off.
No Molotov for the top of back train as well. So back to pistols we go for Sharks. Just hoping to find something with an inner approach. Maybe they can get a bomb plant down. Able J currently alone, but he's doing a pretty fine job of it. Finds 3, and that should be enough time for Art to come in as well. Bombs dropped. Leo is going to try to do his best to find at least a kill.
Oh, that's the AWP down.
Yeah.
They should be able to retrieve it. Yeah, indeed, they will. But that's 2 kills with basically full pistols. They didn't get the mission accomplished of the bomb plant, but 2 kills, not too bad.
It's better than nothing, that's for sure. But Able J very easily could have gone down a lot quicker, and that would have led to a bomb plant, which is obviously what Sharks were hoping for. So for Furia as well, not the end of the world. Well, we'll see how much spark there is left in the Sharks here on the T side. And keep in mind as well, we did see Furia play Train versus Energy earlier. Not today, obviously, but yesterday. And they had a competitive first half, and then it just completely fell flat in the second half. And that is obviously something that needs to be on their mind as well.
Ooh, RCF, another entry with the SG. Gonna use that smoke. There's some Sanctuary. Vinny spoilt for choice. Loads of damage inflicted. Everybody's been tanked on Sharks. It's a case of clearing them up now. Yuri, they're trying to use that smoke to pick off a couple of extra players. Art's gonna miss point blank with the AWP, and now it's down to Yuri. 1 on 4. He has seen RCF to his right-hand side. He saw the barrel of the gun sticking out, but obviously was aiming towards the left side a little bit more. His focus was drawn away. Flashbang doesn't really do anything to him. He's up close enough to make a real go of this. He's still got plenty of time as the bomb just went down. And a kit. Exit. Surely going to get picked off from behind. There we go. Need to see the round. There we go. We're back.
Time is ticking a little bit too fast here, though, for Yuri. You can see the safe positions being played by Sharks, that they just want to make sure that they guarantee this round, but Yuri at least gets away with an AK in hand.
That's all right, though. Just tell them the future, though. Like, the round's done. Let's shift over the players. Just a step ahead.
There you have it. So, weapons are going to get dropped around. As we see the updated odds from GD.bet, Furia being favored here in this one. And I feel like that's how it was meant to be the entire time. We did see the initial one on Nuke, which was heavily favoring Sharks, which we thought was a bit of a slip-up, but normality restored.
Nine and 1 Quesarado with 113 ADR. You cannot argue with that. Flashbang not going to affect J&T other than having to reposition slightly. Grenade going to chip him. Oh no, that flashbang. Okay, they put the Molotov down. I was worried they're going to push in there because Art would have had them dead to rights with his AWP.
Oh, he knows. He knows. There we go. That's one way to getting an entry. Vinny's been So consistent with his aggression and pop dog. RCF is actually going to find Yuri as well. Make that a second one. Able J goes down. This is spiraled out of control. Okay, then RCF. Talked about Kisarada being at 9-1. It feels like RCF is getting all the impact kills here for Sharks. He's 8-8, but those frags definitely matter. That's pretty much winning out the round by his lonesome. Art all alone on the inner bomb side. You have to imagine that Sharks, even though they're not flushed with cash, they would feel confident enough about actually going hunting here because they know how much of a detriment that's going to be to the CT side economy.
And his entry frag stats must be off the charts right now. It feels like every round he's getting 2 or 3 kills.
He's doing a whole lot of work for Shark, that's for sure.
Oh, what a shot. RCF going aggressive. Art is going to punish too. This could be very expensive for Sharks. Obviously, they want to get rid of the AWP. It's a huge part of the arsenal taken away. Oh my goodness, Art is not relenting. He wants to hold on to this. It's going to be another player pushing in. It's Knack around the corner. And Art's put him down too. He's going to go down eventually, but it's at the cost of 4 lives.
Yeah, honestly, still worth it if you're Sharks, because now you know you're going to go up against a bare bones buy on the side of FURIA. Well, I say bare bones, it's not going to be buy at all. See the entry frags from RCF. Just one by one, being able to pick everyone off, and I think that was the problem with the strategy put down by Sharks here as well. It's very much one by one, not a whole lot of immediate trades. They eventually do find him, and that is the big thing.
It was that first shot that kind of stunned me a little bit when he just spun around and wrapped RCF.
That was a bit of a wild one. Now, though, they've got everything at their disposal to get a 5th round on the board, and starting what could be a pretty solid T-side. Ooh, that's the wrong time to unscope. JNT finds one. Knows he's in trouble. Gets out of dodge as well. So he's playing this really well. He's buying so much time as well.
What a shot. He's saying whatever Art can do, I can do better. They're still obviously going to charge him in, but it's going to have to be through the smoke. Meanwhile, Yuri is at the back towards CT Spawn with his Desert Eagle.
JNT's played this excellently. He's constantly taking one step back for another shot, and now he's going to find some help out of his teammates as well. Knack clears out Abel, J, and Yuri. Well, you're not going to find a whole lot. So yeah, for all the losses that they took in the previous round to actually get the op out of Art's hands, 100% worth it, especially when you can have a round like this. Everyone's surviving, so your money's back to a pretty healthy state already. Even if you were to lose the follow-up round here, to be able to re-buy into it.
Yeah, the only sketchy part would have been had they have lost 2 or 3 guns in that previous round against the Pistols.
Yeah.
Then it would be, okay, it wasn't necessarily worth it, but as you say, they passed with flying colors. Their economy's now booming nicely. 5-5, evenly poised on the edge. Either team. AWP has been picked up. It does mean that Art's running with no nades, and the entire team is running with no kits. No early shenanigans out of mains. They're just going to be happy enough to stall out with your standard smokes. Art has peaked. JNT will frag his opposite number. That's the AWP drop down, and no one is even close for Sharks to pick it back up again. They're making a bunch of noise in box halls.
Well, for Sharks to already have gotten 5 rounds here versus FURIA, pretty hot start. I mean, consider back to, if you look back at the matchup that FURIA had versus Energy, they got blanked completely on their T side of Train. They're getting 7 rounds on this TT side.
Gonna be waiting out this smoke. RCF, the man that all these entries have fallen to, maybe given free reign to go out first, but Keserato, different angle to what we've been seeing him play more often than not. Vinny at the back of the site. More defensive positions being taken this round. And here we go. The play is imminent. Keserato gonna have first point of contact, but it's Leo that bests him. And additionally, Vinny, FURIA finally getting some weapons, but they're being taken away so very quickly. 25 seconds to go. Sharks planting the bomb down. Nobody from FURIA can stop them. Yuri is just trying to get into a position where he can catch multiple players off guard and maybe try and steer this back in their favor, but it won't be happening. Leo's got 3 already. He's on for the ace if Furia give him the chance, but they may just back away to save and deny him that luxury. Well, perhaps not, because Abel J is actually moving in. Maybe to join his teammate on Ivy just to act as a bodyguard to save the AWP.
And again, if you're Sharks, you're happy to go hunting here. It's confirmation as to where Art is with the AWP. Because, well, your economy is set, more or less, to the point where it needs to be as a T side, right? And you know that any sort of saved weapon on the side of Furia can definitely be a spanner in the works. Now they've got double ops. See Leo with the opening frags, much similar to what RCF was doing earlier on. He as well gets 3 to his name. We have it. Current scoreboard, and yeah, I mean, even spread on the side of Sharks, and they're getting the right kills, which is the more important thing. So even though it looks like it should be a dominating affair for Furia with how many frags they have, how high their ADR is compared to the Sharks players, it's all about finding the right kills at the right time. So if you force players to save and all that stuff, it doesn't really matter that they have less deaths. You're still getting rounds on the board.
Yeah, plus some of the key integral parts of Furia have gone off the boil these last few rounds. StarLadder was 9-1. He's now 9-4. He's done nothing in these last 3 rounds. And it's certainly helped Sharks a great deal on their endeavors to take the lead.
Yuri also one of the players that's been a constant performer for Furia, having a bit of a rough start to his training game. 3 and 5, not being able to fully put himself in a position to succeed just yet.
Oh, that is a chunk and a half on Tanak, down to 48 off a grenade.
And off the back of the 2 saved ops, it's going to be a force spike coming in from Furia. This is why I'd rather see Sharks actually throwing bodies at the saved Furia players. Just because Furia can do so much damage with these kind of buys. Are just brazen as ever with the aggressive positioning.
It's not an angle you necessarily pre-flash or pre-fire either, so he may get the upper hand. Oh, he's seeing the shoulder peek. Leo's going to charge him down. He's really trying to fake this peek.
I was about to say, like, starts walking down the lower ramp. That's bold.
I think the idea there is to try and make it sound as if he's holding this angle where Leo is right now. So it kind of baits them into this weird situation where they're thinking, oh, he's just around the corner, we can't afford to peek him. And that in turn kind of lets him escape.
Did he again? Ooh, okay, playing with fire. He's already died in a similar position earlier on, but if he's going to go unchecked, that's a really, really quick rotation. Being a possibility for Fury. He's going to put down the smoke as well. He usually peers up the ladder when he does so, but he's fallen back for the time being. They're rotating heavily over towards the inner bomb site here. 25 seconds to go. Seems like it's all going to be a ruse.
Oh man, if they left themselves enough time here, because now they're going to pretty much have to go straight to the site. Not going to check all of the angles. This is so ominous for Sharks. Maybe too passive this time around. Art, oh, easy pickings with Art on the cross. JNT's going to try and do some damage, but he's going to fall too. I think Sharks may be getting in their own head a bit too much with that play.
Yeah. Double ops doing a whole lot of work there, getting 3 frags. Yuri basically setting up the defense on the outer bomb site. That's all they needed. Sharks still have money to fight back into this, but again, double op setup are a difficult task to deal with for a lot of sides. They're going to need to use their utility perfectly, and they also need to be aware of the fact that Art can pretty much just run off to any position of the map at any given time, so how you actually use your utility is going to be crucial.
This time they're going to speed it up, don't want to make the same mistake twice. Art has had a good 3 or 4 flashbangs pinged off his head, and now it's going to start to clear RCF through the smoke, Fearless, but Art spins around, deals with him, and then turns his attention elsewhere. The bomb's dropped outside of main. Art's picked up 3. I believe that's him on 17 kills now. He's off to the races and maybe looking for one more onto exit. What a performance from Art, 18 and 9. Steering them away from another potential upset.
I guess it's thumbs up from Guerri as well. Well deserved. He's had good showings here on both Nuke and Train up to this point. Sharks, they're going to opt in for the timeout here. They need to talk things over. How they deal with those ops. Maybe Art in particular. This time not towards the inner bomb side as we've seen him do multiple times. Close up between E-Box and Pop, just raining down havoc. I'm actually surprised by how quiet these two teams have been today. Might be, I guess, the the gravity of the situation weighing down on them a little bit, not being quite able to have their battle cries heard. Might just be a little bit early in the day.
I think a lot of it stemmed off INTZ just being so loud yesterday that it was like Sharks were trying to get back at them whenever they went around, you know. I think
Feeds into
FURIA
it.
maybe just a little bit more of a calmer squad across the board. But earlier on, I mean, on Nuke, we did hear the coach kind of crying out every time they got a couple of kills.
Maybe when they get a little bit closer, when they feel a little bit more secure about their position in the game
Sure.
right now. Because FURIA, again, versus Energy didn't quite have the same success on their T side as they did on their CT.
Oh, yeah. It can have an adverse effect too. If you're screaming and calling the other team trash and everything else, and you start losing, like, well, if they're trash, what are we? Yeah, it can have an actual pretty negative effect. But Shark's gonna get smoked out on Ivy. It's gonna be pistols and not much else.
And hoping to do a whole lot with those two flashes. Just gonna see if he can actually find the perfect flash to deal with both K-Serrado and Yuri. Bit of a tall order. First one goes out. Doesn't really affect Yuri at all. K-Serrado has been able to adjust as well.
Yep, should be a massacre. Indeed is proving to be just that. It was cool to see K-Serrado actually with his scoped-in weapon aiming above. He was anticipating the first player to jump across to try and draw fire and then to sort of pile out of main. So he ended up actually getting outplayed because the player just ran across instead and his aim was too high. Little mini mind games at play.
Then, though, it's going to be weapons back in the hands of Sharks. With 6 turns already on their T side, I mean, that's not bad by any means. I see they want to close it out on a positive note. Fury have gotten a little bit more into this towards the tail end of the half. And again, Art aggressive, not towards the end this time. It's going to be Ivy and RCF to feel the brunt of his hit.
He has to be one of my favorite players to watch right now.
It's just a wild ride every time, isn't it?
It reminds me of like old school Virtus Pro before they kind of fell off the wagon pretty hard, but you never knew what to expect from them, you know? So it was always exciting to watch them play. That's kind of how I feel with Art and FURIA overall. Flashbang in, and he's just dipped out, which is certainly the correct play because you definitely would have died.
Yeah, great flash, though, from FURIA to set up Vinny aggressively and Pop. So they know that they're going to have to deal with that as well. It's additional utility they might have to expend. Right now, it doesn't really seem like they have a clear idea as to what they want to do. It might be off of the back of exit, seeing if he can fake towards inner, potentially put up a bit of a distraction, force some rotations over there. Right now, they're holding 2 people steady on the inner bomb site, though. Oh, next. Been spotted here. Yeah, you can see Art repositioning as well. He knows that somebody's made it to Olaf.
Yeah, call came through. K-Serrado is still confident to keep watching main to see if more players come out, and that's why he's got 2, make it a 3rd. Art did get 2 assists, 9-6 FURIA. There were moments where you thought Sharks could really take over that half and make it a pretty awful one for the Son of FURIA, but they have managed to just hold on.
I've managed to hold on, but now the interesting part of pretty much the string game comes into play. FURIA didn't get anything done versus Energy on their T side. Now, obviously, going up against a quite different squad, but it's Sharks map pick after all, so there might be something to it. But first, we're going to head to a bit of a commercial break, but do join us when we come back.
Map 2 of our elimination best of 3 sees Sharks well and truly backs to the wall. On their choice of map, they're 9-6 behind. But they're about to head over to the CT side, where maybe their fortunes can change. If they don't, they're done.
They're out, yeah.
It's really that simple.
And this time they're actually out. Obviously, playing in the lower bracket. No more second chances. Obviously, that rings true for Furia as well, but they do seem to be in the driving seat here. See though, if Furia's T-side woes are going to continue, and all get started here with the T-side pistol. Furia so far have had a pretty good job of winning out pistols in this series so far. Sharks might get their first one on the board. Right now, just Art set up towards IV with all the utility actually outside of a Molotov on Quesarado. This might be a setup for a fake here. Still 2 players on the inner bomb side for Sharks as well, though, so that seems to be shored up enough for the time being, especially with no flashes really to fend them off with precision.
No, this is all a ruse. This is the interference play. If Art can get kills on top of it, all the better for it as far as Furia are concerned. But RCF is not deterred by the plays elsewhere. Still going to go down to the Glock, and Vinny's come in with a second. He's starting to slip away in the pistol round. Exit has came back with one of his own, but now Yuri is being double stacked. Nak is a player that lands the final bullet. Able J, P250 in hand. He's going to demolish Nak. They have pillaged the site. Is it going to be raised down with a bomb?
Leo's picked up a kit though, so that's something going their way, but they need to find frags quickly here.
Leo on the ladder, not going to pay off for you, so he's decided to reposition and run in with his teammate of Exit. They're both low. A bullet will pretty much finish them off at this stage, plus the bomb is ticking away. And there we have it. Fury have picked up the second pistol and propel themselves even closer to the finish line.
And they get it done through frags more so than the actual execution. Quesarado's pretty much only job in that round was to Molotov off connector. Actually, throws it short. So there's no problem for Sharks to actually get the rotation in, and that's how they bring it back to a 3v3 rather rapidly. But Able J and Co. find the frags needed to really stall Sharks and net them that 10th round. Down into, well, into double figures they go. Also a much better buy as well. No investment on the side of Sharks here, so they're looking to buy up in the 3rd round, bring it right back as quickly as possible.
Able J was playing the anti-flash, anticipating a potential push in. MP5 for Yuri. Will be caught by Exit. Should just be a drop in the bucket though, but Sharks are actually taking the lead, and Art's down to 39. This is getting a little bit too sketchy as far as Fury are concerned. SG's now traded hands. It doesn't have armor behind it. But this kind of range, you can maybe pop off one of the heads, especially as Quesarado's down to just 18. The bomb also dropped at spawn, so it looks as though Fury are going to decide to go for the B hit instead. With Quesarado watching close by with the MAC-10. He's making his presence still unknown. Didn't make any footsteps.
Still solo HP though. He was definitely within a chance of finding at least the first kill here. JNT on the backstep too. Oh, gets caught out, but position is known now.
Is the SG that's left here, Van. It is the powerful play. It is the ace up the sleeve. Leo's found his first. Can he be the Scourge of Furia? It was full pistols, no real investment to speak of. And yet here we are in a 1v1, and Vinny will shatter the dreams of making that a reality. 11-6, but we will have a bye coming up.
That's a costly round for Furia there. But at least they do end up closing it out. Definitely could have spiraled out of control there.
Sure could have. You can see that it's pretty top-heavy, though, on Furia. 22 kills for Art, Quesarado 19.
And a pretty significant drop-off after that, yeah. Yuri only on 6 frags in this game, and he's been such a consistent performer for them.
I suppose his argument would be he's not really been required, though.
Yeah, it's fair. Hasn't really seen too much action coming through his avenue.
Well, Exit is quite literally seeing action come through the avenue of Ivy, and he's on the receiving end. He has been vanquished, momentarily benched from round 18. Art has been silenced, and RCF going to pop up from the CT stairs, but suddenly multiple sights trained on his forehead, and it's Vinny that pulls the trigger for the final time.
Oh, is that going to spread?
Oh dear, Knack, that's rough.
A lot of HP loss, and Leo's going to find one. Actually, doubles up on that. Quesarado left alone. Bomb dropped in CT spawn. This is going to be a tough one. He does have a pretty significant health advantage, at least on Knack. So it's got that 8K. He's got the one-shot potential. Not the case for the CTs. And they've actually decided to vacate the bomb here.
Why is Sharks leaving the bomb?
Why is this such a common theme with Sharks?
I don't understand. They definitely saw it though, right? Like they have to have seen it.
There's no chance unless they've turned off a feature on the radar that it didn't know exist.
But then one of their teammates or something would call that. I can't believe they're even allowing Quesarado to get on the bomb.
But they've been doing this, like, it's been a consistent thing for Sharks, though. We saw it on Mirage, we saw it on Nuke, and we're seeing it now on Train. And I guess in one sense, it definitely messes with Quesarado's head. He's like, I don't understand. They're not holding the bomb. They've got a man advantage. All logic says that they should be holding the bomb.
You haven't finished him off, though. There we go, finally do. Yeah, he did take like 20, 30 seconds, understandably, to check all the angles, because you assume they're just going to both stack there.
Yeah, it's going to be a crossfire that you're going to have to deal with.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that that particular bomb drop, there were 3 entry/exit points, and they may have been worried that just through blind, unlucky nature, he peeks the one side they're not checking, and he gets both the kills. So take the advantage.
Wrong place, wrong time kind of a thing.
If you both play connector, you'll hear him run past, and you'll both be able to stack on him. So I guess maybe that's the reason why, but the reason we're calling it is because they've done it so often.
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely put some thought into as to why they want to do it. So if that's what they feel most comfortable with, it's perfectly fine. Auto shotgun, just going to net 1 kill. At the very least, and Knack's suppressive fire is going to do a whole lot of work. They never really made it down the ramp, did they?
Yeah, that's just straight up being a victim of Train overall. Many teams on the eco round will just try and pile into B site. We saw Sharks do this too.
Yep.
XM at that kind of an angle is a nightmare to play against.
Yeah, all you want really with these eco rounds is to get a bomb plant down, because it's so hard to win with a limited investment, right? Long distance is always going to favor the rifles. Sharks are going to be happy about that, though. More pistols coming out. RCF again is going to hear all of it. This time he doesn't bail out. He's going to run with them. It's not really as fruitful as he would have hoped for. Bomb dropped as well, so J&T making sure that there's not going to be too much of a gain from Furia there. Only the 1 kill on RCF, and that's about it.
I like that J&T also changed his angle of aggression so that the box was blocking the top part of box halls.
Yeah.
Like the issue when you peek round close is you're going to have to change your crosshair up and down with the verticality. So he took it into his own advantage with the UMP. That was pretty cool to see. But it did look a little bit hairy for a moment when the first player went down.
Yeah. Luckily, though, you pick up an auto shotgun and you still have to deal with players rotating in from connector. So it's not going to be the best weapon in that scenario. This is the quick odds coming in from GTU.bet as well, heavily favoring Fury here. I would not be too confident about that being the case, given their history on the T side of Train, but so far, Vinny doing a good job here. Quick trade, though, from Leo Drunky. He just continues.
He's really trying to pick up the mantle from RCF, isn't he, with that SG entry fragging? RCF, speaking of which, has gone down, and so has Vinny. 2-on-2, plenty of time, but it's going to be down to exit. He has made a move around the back. He is trying to flank these 2 terrorists. He's going to have them dead to rights. They line up, he sprays them down.
And I think they're beginning to believe. You can start hearing the shouts coming out from the Sharks side, and first time in a good while, I think it's fair to say. That's what we want in this matchup. And I'm curious whether or not that game yesterday versus Energy is going to be still in the back of the head of the Fury players. They know they got shut down on the T side heavily as well. Now Sharks, they've brought it back almost to equal numbers, 10-11. RCF, yeah, he's getting into it. He's been the loudest player on their side the entire time, so having him feeling it is definitely a good thing.
The thing is, you'd think that with Fury having so many issues on the T side, that they would have really worked on them, especially to allow Train to come through in this best of 3. We haven't really seen it. Like, they won the pistol, and since then, it's been pretty one-way traffic in favor of Sharks.
Yeah, I mean, they nearly even lost the anti-eco, right?
Yeah, right.
To some full USPs.
Came down to a 1v1.
Though Art. So this is such a Fury thing, right? Art's the only one with a weapon. He's going to rush out alone. It's actually going to find an opening frag as well. That's wild. Leo there's luckily there to stem the tide, but that's the only weapon gone from the side of Furia as well.
Oh, the timing. RCF anticipating they may push through the Molotov.
Still spots out Yuri as well behind the Molotov smoke, so that's great. 2v3. Bomb's going to go down, but Sharks should be happy about just winning out this round at this stage. Vinny left alone. No Molotov to potentially put down on the bomb, and Exit's going to make short work of him.
So we are tied all up at 11-11. Second map of this best of 3 with Vertigo just around the corner if we need it.
And I was about to say, yeah, Vertigo being the third map really adds some spice into this best of 3 series. We could be looking at a reality where Fury could potentially not qualify for the major, which
Correct.
I don't think many people had in their cards going into this.
They're what, 7th in the world?
7th in the
Ranked?
world. I think them and Energy obviously had to be the big favorites.
Yep.
Instead, might be turning on its head here if Sharks keeps this up. RCF back on the auto shotgun, and it's going to be an off in the hands of Art. This is where Fury needs to come back to it. RCF with the aggressive stance. Doesn't find Mini immediately, and actually, yeah, just this tag damage on Able J as well, so the aggression doesn't pan out. Has them with a double rotation in towards the inner bomb site, so the yard's pretty sparse for CT players at this stage.
Yeah, this draws Knack out to playing on Connector's side because ultimately he needs to be close enough to wrap around to B if the call comes in, they're about to hit it. With JNT with the AWPing duties on B site.
Going back to 3-man defense out towards yard, and that seems to be the right call as well. Windows being broken. Somebody on the side of Sharks need to find a double kill, though. That's the really big get here.
Yeah, exactly. 1-4 trades are not good enough anymore. I need someone to have a spree. Flash in, just to try and take some control over Ivy. 35 seconds. Time itself may begin to favor Sharks, though. If Fury don't get a move on, that flashbang doesn't really do anything in terms of allowing aggression. Vinny, it does keep them at bay, and Vinny elsewhere on Pop Dog has found himself Leo. Exit. Playing patiently. We said someone needed to get 2 kills. It's going to be Exit. He may even be in for a third because the AWP shots missed, but Art is able to dart away and re-peek. 14 seconds to go. The bomb needs to get picked up. What a shot by JNT. That could be enough. 7 seconds. Can they get to the site in time? Yes, just about with Knack in Pop Dog. And there's Vinny long range with the SG, but there were so many moments there then when you worried.
Oh,
and they let it slip away.
Luckily, Fury have the presence of mind to plant behind the bomb train as well. If they plant along the side, that's an open opportunity for Knack to just deny the bomb plant, get out of dodge, win the round out in that fashion. That got real close. Yeah, Art missing the first shot, puts everything up in jeopardy. How do you give credit to Exit as well for being cool enough to spot the second player as well before he goes in?
Yeah, to have the clarity of the mind when so much is on the line, when you're in such a pressure cooker situation, got to give him props for that. Unfortunately for Sharks, it wasn't enough.
Oh, and RCF, you might be in for a rough surprise. Really rough. Not really sure what that was all about. And that's pretty much a done round. They're going to still try to get back into this, but the forward positioning and better positioning outside of the tees is going to make this so hard. I think you're better off just saving if you're Sharks already.
Yeah, this could be a match-losing round if they decide to go in for this Sharks and they lose.
All right.
But they are going to give themselves a chance, a lifeline, in the form of Exit's kill.
Smoke's going to go down. So they're committed to this.
Art's unfortunate move just at the worst possible moment. Yuri getting flashed out. Able J going to be able to come in with 1. Yuri spraying up through the smoke. He's going to be able to get 1 in second as well. That's it done. 13-11. And because of the economy and not saving weapons, Sharks are in so much trouble.
Yeah, I think that it's a bitter pill to swallow, but I think they're just way better off saving the second RCF goes down. He hasn't done any damage. He hasn't been able to hold anyone back. It's going to be 5 players from the side of Furia on the bomb site before you've even gotten any sort of idea as to what's going on. Like it's so hard to combat. It's actually Furia's going to take the tactical pause here to make sure that they have everything in order. Sharks right now, they have to be shaking their heads.
Just keeping the spirits high and the focus in effect. Yeah, this is the
buy.
The ordeal that Sharks have put themselves in as a result of going for that retake.
It's not a pretty buy at all. Again, very curious as to what RCF was doing there. One thing is rotating behind the third train, but at least expend your utility before you go into peak instead of just jumping with your back turned onto sidewalk. All right then. Art doing art things. Gets picked off by JNT, who wanted to go aggressive.
And this may be one of those situations where Art doing art things actually costs them a potential round. It's giving a free kill away to your adversary. Sharks are stacking up the frags. They're clobbering FURIA.
And everyone's just ran off by themselves on the side of FURIA. They try to push the inner bomb site while all that is going on. So RCF is going to net himself a kill with the Mag 7. Picks up an AK as well. In a matter of 3 seconds, it turns into a 1v4 for Able J. He does have the bomb on his back, but no utility left. There's so many angles to be wary of here. Nax already posted up inside of connector. That's an easy kill.
And
well then.
We've seen the two very diverse sides of Art's game style. Sometimes it yields entries, it yields magnificence, and sometimes they trip over and they face plant.
A little bit more emotion coming out of Kochi as well. Art with the... Okay, this is quite the investment from FURIA here. Breaking the back at this stage to get an op on Art and an AK on Quesarado. Smoke's going to do absolutely nothing.
Not far off on the shot either of JNT. Now they've heard the AWP ring out. They know pretty much what's up against them. They'll be crossing with no smokes, and Art just goes for the peek and lands onto RCF. He's even re-peeking. Molotov going to go down. He's going to force Art into a different position. Try and funnel a terrorist into a line, a kill field. But Art just keeps peeking over and over again. He's got 2 kills.
And as much as this sucks for Sharks, you're better off saving here. And they're just going to feed, they're just going to feed into the AWPer. And this might be where it all falls apart. I'm not really sure what's changed with RCF's mentality as to how he's playing this. He throws a wild smoke up and lower that doesn't really do anything at all, only to fall completely back. I mean, fair enough, you might be expecting an eco, but again, they're still playing so far back that they have no control of anything. And that was a disaster, straight up. There's nothing else is really, no other way to describe it. That inner bomb site has been a nuisance for them, and it seems like RCF is just afraid. To start off the half, he was being much more confident, pushing up with a, if it's an auto shotgun or a Mag 7, he's playing forward at least. He can play off of information, he can get some trades. Now he's giving up a bomb site for free, and they don't really seem to have the best of ideas as to how to retake it once FURIA makes it forward.
Yeah, that round where he seemingly turned his back to the ramp and ran towards connector, I do wonder if it was maybe just a really poor call, that it was like an A-rush or something like that. But even still, if it is an A-rush, you still need one player to sweep.
Backstab.
Yeah, exactly,
or, yeah.
To keep on the other side. So I can't really figure out why that was. And yeah, it does seem like he's gone from being super confident and not missing any shots to now doubting himself. Maybe it is just the circumstance, the atmosphere of how important this matchup is that's weighing down on him.
Very well could be. And that kind of an investment from FURIA, right, seems so reckless because it shouldn't really work out. Not as effective as it does in any case, right? Vinny out in the yard. He's going to make short work of everyone defending. It's pistols all around for Sharks. Banking everything to bring it to overtime at this stage. JNT already left alone. He can get a weapon out of the hands of Quesarado here, tucked away in T-spawn, but it's very unlikely for him to check this kind of an angle.
Yeah, you're all focused towards the right-hand side from his perspective. You were never expecting this. Quesarado, don't knife him, please. Please don't.
No, he is.
This is just Oh, this is so brutal.
Oh, Yuri's just buying
It's
time.
so brutal.
Just buying time.
Not like this. Kill him.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
I wanted JNT so bad to spin around and just take his head off for that. Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, well, the long hunt does pay off for Quesarada. That's 1,500 extra bucks to his name, and more importantly, map and match point for Furia.
Yeah, 3 of them. Sharks eyeing up elimination.
I mean, Sharks definitely had chances in this game to bring it back. Keep in mind, they lost both pistols, too.
So many grenades. You can see that Sharks have so little remaining now. 1 smoke, 1 flash, 1 incendiary, and we've got 1 minute 35 on the clock.
They also have an op on Art. Gun barrel has been spotted out. Still not going to prevent Leo from taking that angle. Loses out the duel as well, so man advantage goes the way of Furia.
Art has landed his 31st kill. Could be the beginning of the end. As Sharks desperately try to swim against the current. It is Furia, and it's picking up pace, it's picking up momentum. Exit trying to thread the needle of the smoke. And Vinny's taking this opportunity to push up. He is going to be dealt with, but Able J, 2 AK entries. Alongside Art leaves JNT with an M4, and he cannot get anything from that. Fury going to take it down, 2-0 as we expected. And unfortunately for Sharks, they're done. They're out.
That they are, but still, admirable performance out of the Brazilian side, even though they do fall short to Furia here in this bout. Still lots to work on, but again, we learned so much from having these kind of international competitions, and for them, it's just another step on the road to becoming a better team. So even though they will feel a fair bit of disappointment with how it all ended, I think it's fair to say that they didn't expect Furia to make it through here before the game started.
Yeah, and like in a global perspective too, I think Sharks have probably just picked up quite a lot of new fans. They've got a very interesting, exciting style of Counter-Strike, a lot of passion behind these players too. I think they can hold their heads high.
Absolutely so. And I think that's been the case for a lot of the Brazilian teams here so far at the Americas Minor. And well, as it stands right now, there's still 2 in play remaining. Obviously, we have INTZ going up against Energy in the following best of 3, and obviously Furia now awaiting the loser of that match to decide their fate.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Americas Minor, but you have to say Brazil has dominated it apart from NRG.
Yeah, it really has.
It's really been their minor, so you've got to expect that Furia likely to still make it through. I don't want to take anything away from INTZ, but they're definitely the underdogs coming through against NRG. I don't think that's an unfair statement.
No, that's absolutely fair. Energy have been looking like the indomitable team so far, which is good to see again, because a team of their caliber, you kind of expected them to already be at the stage where they don't need to qualify for anything at all. But with the mishaps they've had so far, that's where they find themselves. But yeah, exciting to see what the Brazilian teams have in store for us. But for now, we're going to throw it over to the stage where Sue is with one of the players for an interview.
You're correct, Vendetta. I'm here with Art after that 2-0 victory. So first of all, congratulations. Furia moves forward, and unfortunately, the Sharks are eliminated. It's always interesting because with Furia, every time it feels like when you're facing a Brazilian team, even though you win, it still always feels very close. Does it feel that way for you as well?
Yeah, of course. Mainly the training map was very close. Nuke, we got some lucky rounds, and we got to the, like a snowball on T half, and City half was just City half on luck.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Train, because despite the fact that you won both pistols, they were able to get a lot of rounds on the board. In fact, on both halves, there were a few times where they got a lot of momentum going and got several rounds in a row. How difficult was it to play against that?
I think the start of the half for City was very tough for us. We lost some rounds that we should have won, like 5v4, 2 times. And as City always, when you lose some key rounds that you break your economy, gets way harder. And for the T side was just, we got lucky on some rounds, and other rounds we lost an equal and got some bad news, but after that we just pick up.
How does it feel for you to face these Brazilian teams? Because obviously when it comes to some of these other events, when you're facing teams like Vitality, Team Liquid, Astralis, you were considered the underdog before, but here at the minor, very much considered the favorite. So does it feel like a different pressure in a way?
I don't think so. I think when we play Brazilians, it's the same as we play American teams or European teams. We just play the same. And I think we just know each other very much because we know them from a long time ago and we watch them a lot. So I think it's easier for us to play against someone who we know.
Well, now you're climbing through this lower bracket, and if you want to make it to that major, of course, it's going to be either NRG or INTZ. NRG, I know you mentioned this before, they're sort of your nemesis, so would you want that opportunity maybe one more time to possibly get revenge, or INTZ, who you had that super, super close map on Overpass with?
Hopefully gonna get NTZ and hopefully gonna get a revenge after that against Energy.
Well, we'll see what happens. For now, congratulations once again. Back to you guys.